Hey everyone, Coach Iva here. I am so excited to be back with you again this week with the Brain Rewired. I am a life coach, a business coach, and I have a neuro coaching certification, which simply means that I get to help my clients rewire their neural pathways for success. So, on these little segments, I have been talking about the brain. And the last couple of videos that I've done, I've talked about how the brain loves patterns. And when the brain sees a pattern, it stores that pattern in subconscious memory. And how those patterns that are running in subconscious memory in reality affect so much of what we do on a daily basis. So 90 to 95% of the decisions that we make, the actions we take, each day are very heavily influenced by what's running in automation in our subconscious. And because the brain doesn't know if it's a good thought pattern or a bad thought pattern, sometimes we pick up negative patterns. And so if we're struggling in an area, it might be because we have a wrong thought pattern running in automation that's influencing us on a daily basis. And the other thing I talked about is how the brain has a very strong negative bias, but there is a way to train our brain to see the positive, and we don't need to stay stuck in that negative place, but we can focus on those positive things in our life and how that shifts so much for us on a daily basis. And tonight I want to talk about how the brain loves clarity and how important it is to have a clear vision for your life. Now, if you are someone who maybe you've thought things like, oh, someday when I have more money, or someday when I have more time, I will do so and so. I'm sure most of us have probably thought that at some point in our lives. But I would love to encourage you to think a little bit deeper about those thoughts. You know, I believe that God has given to each one of us very specific desires and dreams in our hearts to pursue. And sometimes those can feel kind of scary. And so it just feels safer to think about them and not do anything about them, right? But I just want to let you in on a little secret. So, the brain's number one job is to keep you safe. Okay? That's the brain's number one job. It will always be looking to keep you safe. So when you step into something new and unfamiliar, your brain perceives that as unsafe. And so even if like you've never sat down and gotten really clear on your vision, more than just like thinking the thoughts in your head, you said, okay, I'm going to actually sit down and see if there's anything here that I can do in my life from these thoughts that I've been having. Your brain's not going to like it because it's going to feel really uncomfortable because you've not done it before. And so I just want to give you that heads up that what I'm talking about here, getting clear on your vision, that feels uncomfortable sometimes. Like we don't like that, how that feels if we've not done that before. Your brain's going to throw all sorts of neurochemicals at you to try to keep you from doing that. But if you know that and you know and you expect that, like you can push past it because you know that your brain's just simply doing its job. But you know, logically, you know, it's not unsafe for you to do that. And so you can keep pushing forward. And I think just understanding that about our brain helps so much. But what I want to encourage you to do is to tap into those recesses of your heart, those places, those hidden things that you've maybe dreamed about, you've never really told anybody about. And just sit down with pen and paper and begin to write it out. Don't get caught in the how. Don't get caught in like, well, that'll never become a reality in my life. There's no way that I can see that be happening in my life. Don't get caught in that. This is just like a vision exercise for you to do, to just get out on paper those things that maybe God is stirring in your heart to do, even those things that seem so far out there and so big, and scary to some degree, even of like, oh my goodness, like, could this become a reality, right? And there's something really powerful that happens when we put pen to paper and begin to write that out. So I just encourage you to get curious, unpack what's in your heart, get it out on paper. And I believe that something really beautiful will happen when you do that. You'll begin to get some clarity. So if this is something, as you're thinking about doing this, you're like, oh my goodness, I would love to get clarity on, where's my life going to be at in a year from now? And maybe you've never done that before and it feels uncomfortable. I would encourage you just to schedule a free call with me. I always leave my calendar link in the comment section below, and you can click on that and set up a time for you for a free 30-minute call. And we'll just talk about what it is that you are carrying in your heart, how I can support you to begin to unpack your vision, that vision that God has given to you, so that you can get really clear on it and then begin to take action steps towards it. That's really my heart for you, is to help you unpack that and get clarity. So that's all I have for tonight. Thank you for joining me, and we will talk to you next week. Bye for now.